So what's the next drama that I have to cover, my friends? Well, it's, of course, the Mudahar versus Keffals arc, okay? Now, Keffals is a character, and I say that in a genuine way. Keffals, in my mind, I have only ever heard of Keffals through other people, talking her, right? Or pointing out her lies or hypocrisy, etc., etc. I've only ever seen videos of Keffals where it's people hating on her, right? So that's how she exists in my mind. So allow that to inform, my opinion, I guess. But at the end of the day, I do view, Keffals as, I guess, a fucking lolcow or whatever, where it's like, clearly just people enjoy shitting on her. Now, with that out of the way, there are a lot of people who do clearly just hate her. I do not get that vibe from Mudahar, okay? Mudahar has been teasing this Keffals video for a long time. I went on to his podcast, Some Ordinary Podcast, and he was talking about it then. And I've been kind of interested, Mudahar, when he decides to take on a case, it's usually a kind of a passion thing, right? Because he doesn't actually really benefit that much from his kind of bigger, higher effort videos, because he's kind of a daily uploader, you know what I mean? And so I was wondering, why Keffals? Why Keffals, right? Like, Mudahar is a massive channel, very respected dude. Why go after Keffals? But again, a lot of people said the same about me. Why go after Sneeko? And in my mind, it was like, bro, Sneeko is a perfect canvas for what I want to talk about, right? In the case of Mudahar, this is a surgical, straight up, very receipt-heavy kind of breakdown of Keffals' behavior, specifically in relation to, potential kind of fraud, or at the very least, mishandling of finances in relation to Keffals' GoFundMe that she started after, Farms doxed her, okay? So basically what I'm saying is that this isn't just Mudahar shitting on Keffals. It's not really that at all. It's him just kind of systematically explaining why there is so much skepticism, so much negativity toward this woman. And so the value I see in Mudahar making this video, and that I kind of immediately caught on to, was this was, for a time, a woman who was held up as kind of an activist, a representative of the trans community, especially in the Twitch sphere, right? And I think that, while it's not necessarily overtly stated, I think that Mudahar, a big part of what he's kind of angling to kind of send a message of, is that we need to be very fucking careful about who we choose or who we accept as representatives of these marginalized communities, okay? The thing is that there's so much hysteria around these kind of, hot button identity-based issues, especially, obviously, among liberals, right? Because, of course, these identity politics, they manifest in every direction. I believe Keffals, she might call herself a leftist. I have yet to see any proof that she actually is, because let's be clear, a liberal can just as easily advocate for trans rights than as a leftist, you know what I mean? It's the whole culture war or identity war, those issues, liberals can totally co-opt those, right? In the case of Keffals, in my mind, this is a case where it should invoke a little bit of a kind of a self-reflection, or at the very least, a little bit of a kind of, it's almost an audit, right, of the activist community, specifically with the transgender activist community, where it's you have to be careful who you kind of lift up, right? Who you put on a pedestal, whatever you would say. Because this does, to me, right, watching Mudahar's video, watching Willie Mac's videos, seeing her responses, right, and how fucking, completely impotent they've been, right? Very, very, very non-existent efforts to kind of defend herself against these criticism videos.
I don't know what I was expecting. Honestly, actually, I was expecting more people to be angry, but so far that hasn't happened. No, I didn't mean angry from the people who actually want to be here. I just meant angry from drama freaks. I'm not planning on making any sort of response, because I don't think I owe anyone a response. When I say I'm done with drama, I legitimately mean it. I don't care about any of this shit.
Seeing all that, And realizing that she actually did succeed in raising $100,000+, it's like tragic, right? And it's like, this is a trend, right, that we're seeing a lot nowadays, is people who opportunistically use these identity labels, whether they be gay, whether they be trans, etc., whether they be black in some cases, right? People who use these labels, and they use it to attract people of similar identities or beliefs in order to advance their own personal, wealth or agenda, whatever you would say. The big case that comes to my mind is H-Bomber Guy. H-Bomber Guy pointed out extremely extensively, undeniably in my mind, the case of James Somerton, okay? Who was a guy, again, who angled himself as this, queer creator, defending queers, all this shit, and again, he was just aggressively stealing the content of smaller queer creators. He was a total opportunist, massive opportunist, okay? And, I don't want to dig into the guy more than he's been dug into, okay? H-Bomber Guy's video got 20 million views, annihilating him, all right? And I understand Somerton apparently has some, self-deletion tendencies, whatever, maybe, I don't know. I don't care. What I'm saying is that these communities need to get better at self-monitoring for opportunism and really like seeing who's legit, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Because, again, anybody can take on these identity labels, right? Anybody can take them on. And that's fair enough. I'm not saying it's like inherently a bad thing. But there is a ton of people who grab and latch onto these identities to basically make up for a lack of knowledge, a lack of personality, or a lack of finances, right? They use and co-opt whatever the they can in order to further their own agenda. And in my mind, Mudahar pretty clearly points out and, explains how that is the case with Keffals, right? And again, that's why when I see that Mudahar is getting, somehow he's getting a bunch of pushback, he's kind of getting canceled. Not really, because his livelihood is not actually threatened, but he's just being, criticized for being transphobic with his Keffals coverage. I look at that and I'm like, oh, what a waste. What a waste. Because I can tell, bro, that Mudahar is not coming at it from this anti-trans angle. He is doing the community a favor by, kind of, again, displaying yo, be careful. There are opportunists who are eager to take advantage of this movement. You know what I mean? Certain people never get consequences for their actions. They hide behind their identity and play victim. Well, that's kind of what I'm saying. Thank you, Mr. Beats. That's kind of what I'm saying. It's like, you should not get preferential or, elevated treatment. They use their identity to gain a leg up or to leverage support, right? Because now you have this big base of people who share that identity, who want to not, see you suffer, right? Again, I won't even get into the specifics of Muda's video because it's just, the receipts were so I was like, wow, this is wild. And look, at the end of the day, I'm not a big fan of this whole, Keffals, completely, whatever, push her into the ground, levels of making fun of her. It's not about making fun of her to me, and it didn't seem like it was about making fun of her to Muda. At the end of the day, this is clearly a very flawed person. She even identifies herself that she was an addict, right? Which definitely fed into her behaviors, right? But beyond all that, she totally was a representative of her community, and now the people who are using her to kind of shit on that whole community, well, they have more gasoline because she's done a shit job, you know what I mean? And so, what am I bringing this to? Firstly, I want to play a segment from Mudahar's latest video that he uploaded today, actually, because he, again, was getting canceled. That's not really what was happening, but people were calling him out just presumptively thinking that Mudahar was coming at this from a total anti-trans angle, right? Which I don't think is the case, at all. I don't know. I've been watching Mudahar a long time. If there's one thing I'll say about Mudahar, he is not a hateful guy. That's the vibe I get, at least, okay? He's a gamer, yeah, but he's not a hateful guy, And so Here,
Hello, guys.
let me just play it because I really do think this was like a good thing for him to include. He is not an enemy to the trans community. This really should be viewed. Again, if you have criticisms of his video, give the fucking criticisms, right? Like, I might even, if I thought about it too hard, but even Mudahar acknowledges some of the criticism. Like, there was kind of a slight allusion or kind of a bit of an implication that, Keffals, groomed a certain young trans, I believe, woman, something like that. And then the trans woman came out and was like, yo, I mean, look, I don't actually think it was framed that well, whatever. Muda kind of owns this, whatever. The point is, though, is that I think this segment that he says, I believe right around here, is just fucking facts. Like, the guy just nails it. And so, yeah.
Back to the video. Now, I didn't expect the video to be making some crazy waves, but it actually did, in the sense that one of the larger publications, TYT, which I guess is mainstream enough to be showing up in Google News recommendations.
Yeah, this is wild. I was surprised that the Young Turks decided to cover this. Probably, look, the Young Turks, specifically Anna Kasparin, I believe is her name, she's kind of been a little bit more skeptical of the trans movement lately, whatever. There's some drama there. I don't think she's actually anti-trans. I just think she's growing skeptical, basically. And I do think, especially when it comes to the opportunists, because there's so many opportunists, bro, playing into this whole movement, I do think that it is important to be critical, right? Like, I don't know, it's just something to consider. But yes, she basically made a video, what would you say? Washing her hands, or like basically correcting the record, saying like, yeah, this person is not reliable.
Ended up using portions of my video as a correction for their own actual reporting. And they even called on other actual like big publications to offer retractions. Now, I haven't seen this, so I don't know what the effort of this, what they have said entirely in this 18-minute piece. But to understand, this is a story that when I covered, I like to look at the facts of a situation, right? Beyond all of the crazy controversies, there is truth that hides in these videos. And I'm not here to get a response out of anybody or whatnot. What I am here is to lay out the truth. And it took me 1 hour and 33 minutes to do so, and I feel like I did a good enough job. Now, for any other organization or journalist group out there that ran with the Drop Kiwi Farm story without understanding all of the facts, should offer some form of retractions. And we did put our utmost research into covering this story, because at the end of the day, okay, I have had my own mistakes. I have made mistakes in coverage in the past. And mistakes, they happen. It's a human situation. But when covering a story, some of you may remember when I covered Ethan Klein.
Yeah, this is like the one big like public mess up that Muda might have had, whatever, was his coverage of H3. He kind of, that was around the same time that I, H3 responded to my video, whatever. Yeah, Muda kind of got humbled, I guess you could say, whatever. And I can tell, like, he is just much more careful about how he reports nowadays.
And I made a big blunder, and ever since then, it takes a lot to basically pass through the editing shelf. There will be mistakes, and who knows, in the future you may have to issue a retraction from even here. But when covering these kind of stories, it's about objectivity, and it's about reaching for the facts. And that's one of the things that we really do aim for on this channel. Now, I guess it's time to end this video with, just the final closing thoughts. I never have ill will towards anybody that I ever cover in a video, okay? I think generally most people can reform and do the right thing, provided they haven't broken some crime that, it's hard to come back from. I think people like Keffals, if they refunded their money and truly apologized to the community that they represent, the trans community, then all can basically turn around and turn their life into the better, okay? But at the end of all this, right, one of the big key concerns that I have is financial malfeasance. People that I talk to in this situation that constantly bring up things like, Muda, this is just drama. Are you covering this because you're a drama channel or something? It's funny because the people that I cover, who are my friends in this space, right, or used to be, people like The Completionist is just one example.
Yeah, another would be like Mama Max, Muda. Again, this is kind of a thing in the commentary community where it's like, if you fuck up bad enough, you will get devoured, or at the very least, people will, report on it, right? Like, there is, to a degree, there is a, I kind of, like, people are held to a standard. We don't need to get too specific about that, but Yeah, I like this tangent that Muda goes on. So let's play.
You know, he'll tell me in a call, Muda, I love your content. You know, I love when you cover stuff like Logan Paul and whatnot, or like you cover actual scams. And the moment my crosshairs turn to them, then I'm a fucking drama channel. Then I'm just like, ooh, TMZ. Even though that we're bringing like actual facts, receipts, interviews, we're doing the best that we can in this situation. These are things that I want to address, and with people like Keffals, I wish the actual criticism was strong. I wish people could criticize the actual video versus delineating it to a thumbnail or, you know, allegations of my significant other being a neo-Nazi, which are completely unfounded, okay? It's just hilariously dumb. But again, to situations like this, I think the real harm and the real implication is this isn't drama to me. This is something where actual money and actual harm is caused. Now, the money that in this situation, $101,343, which may or may not be appropriated properly, this is something that needs to be addressed. And for a community of people, the trans community specifically, where resources don't grow on a tree, okay? There's not like a, here's your $1 million check, go ahead. There are people in this community that suffer from homelessness, ostracization from their communities, their families, sometimes their friends. People who going homeless can absolutely ruin the rest of their lives or a good chunk of their life if they don't have the right resources and the right people there at the right time to assist them at their lowest. This kind of money can be life-changing for a whole group of activisms, for a whole, slew of activism, or to actually get people on their feet. Keffals has misappropriated this money as far as what we've seen, what we believe to have seen, and it's money that could be used for much better reasons or much better cases. And while I don't care if she responds to me, I don't give a shit about any of that, I do believe she owes her community and the trans community some form of actual transparency in this situation. And maybe that'll come, maybe it won't. But ladies and gentlemen, yeah, Nuke dropped, and I wanted to talk about it because it has been one of my most controversial videos. It was actually something that I was a little bit worried releasing, but thankfully everything turned out to be pretty well and good. Now, honestly, after all of this, looking through my Reddit and looking through people talking about, I want kind of Muda that covers the deep web or haunted gaming back. And it's one of those things that I address. After covering this, it's not that I'm going to stop covering it. This kind of stuff really genuinely interests me and sparks my eyes, as some of you can tell.
Okay. That's pretty much all we need to hear. Yeah, I kind of like Muda's angle with this, right? It's like, it's not about shitting. It's not about dancing on Keffals' grave, right? It's like, this is like genuine reporting, There's a little bit of fun to be had, but honestly, the video was just pretty fucking like strict receipts, you know what I mean? And yeah, the big thing, bro, r/YouTube drama. Thank God this place exists. I love it. I love it. Muda just kind of touched on it in that last like closing words or whatever, but on r/YouTube drama, people were claiming that Mudahar's wife was a neo-Nazi. And, like, giving all these fucking, like, loopy-ass, fucking insane, jumping through hoops to explain, like, Muda, his wife, like, fetishizes Indians. That's why she's race mixing and all this shit. And it's, like, such terminally online fucking brain rot cancer that I absolutely love. I love to see that shit. Because it's so perfect. I don't want these people ever watching my content in a serious way because it's so fucking funny. If we can go, I don't know if we can, but if we can go on r/YouTube drama right now. This is like terminal identity politics brain rot, these people, man. I've seen it mentioned that Keffals also used art from the same artist for a video of hers. I don't think it'll develop much. Yeah, this was the whole fucking stupid ass drama. Was like, okay, Keffals' response was basically like, yo, what the fuck, Mudahar used this picture of me looking ugly, like an ugly drawing. Funny, this ugly drawing of Keffals was actually commissioned by Just a Worm, an artist who has been used by many commentators now. Actually, shit, I don't even want to show you guys because you'll fucking use it. Just a Worm art is like a guy who's so fucking talented that, like, seeing my face drawn by him, I'm actually like, oh, bro, Jesus. But anyway, let's look at this shit. Look at this. Okay, so here, you can see it. This is just ugly Keffals, basically. This is what Keffals bitched about. Apparently, Keffals has used his artwork as well. Apparently, Vosh she used. So very hypocrite moment, but whatever, who cares? Like, again, like, I don't give a fuck about this Keffals person. I'm not gonna cap. Like, I don't care, really. I did understand the angle that Muda was coming from, more or less. Again, with this Keffals woman, I don't care, man. I don't care. But clearly, like, okay, her response is dog shit. She clearly is just deflecting whatever. She's just looking for whatever out she can. I don't care. The point is, though, these people who write off commentators purely for their affiliations, purely for, like, assumptions they're making about their character, these are just fundamentally lazy thinkers, people who do not want to engage critically with content. They want a safe space. They want to, fully ideologically embrace the people whom they decide are worthy of trust, right? They don't want to hear outside voices. This is what I see on r/YouTube drama. An example of that, if you would like to see one, after my Sneeko video, r/YouTube drama, they basically, I remember there was a thread, they called me like Turkey Tom Light or something like that, which is just funny. It's just hilarious. Like I don't read that Reddit and think these people are stupid. They're fucking, I just think, yeah, okay, these people are like in their own heads. They're in their own assholes. They're sniffing each other's farts. Like, it's just funny. And these are also just people I do not want watching me. Like, I really hope that they label me. They fucking slap an identity onto me because I don't want them watching me. Do you understand? I'm somebody now, I really understand the kind of the true legitimacy of audience capture or whatever the fuck. Like, there are certain people I don't want watching me, People who do not engage critically, who do not give the benefit of the doubt to people who provide criticism. Why the fuck would I want them watching me, right? Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's hilarious too. Like them, bro, like the mental gymnastics that they had to pull to try and warp this as though Mudahar is a white nationalist somehow. Actual, like, insane brain rot. Like, and it's great. I want more of it. I love it. I love when people are just so very clearly wrong and are so confident in the worldview. Because even though I won't be the one to do it, it's just like, it's so easy to fucking... They're name-dropping cloud goblins. Who cares about them? Yeah, but, like, I don't care about them. I'm not trying to cope and, like, fucking seethe. I'm really not. I'm literally saying, like, it's actually comedy. Like, it's funny as fuck. Like, that's the thing. Like, I love that it exists. You know what I mean? Because it's a place to relegate all these fucking lame brains, right? These people who actually clearly don't give a fuck, right? And so, yeah. At the end of the day, I think... I don't know. You guys tell me if I'm wrong. Are you getting vibes from the commentary community? Are you getting vibes that there's a new wave coming? Because I'm trying to, help cause a new wave, but I'm trying to, like, ride the new wave of commentary because, I don't know, I'm feeling the air. I think there's a lot of potential from this community, man, and I think I'm really glad that people are so quick to write off the commentary community, because that gives massive potential to subvert and to, exceed expectations. So, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, if you're still watching this beautiful little stream, cozy little stream, I hope you guys are having fun, but make sure to join the Discord, okay? I only ping you when I'm live or when I upload a video. I'm only live once a week, Friday night. Hope you enjoy your weekend. And make sure to go to Gokanaru.com, pick up a little NPC beanie or an NPC hat. I prefer the hats, bro. They're fucking tight. They're actually, like, unironically solid hats. Or a nice Escape the Matrix.
Shut up, Gokanaru. The real thing you should be advertising is our brand new Hubert NPCs. Did you enjoy the Sneeko video? Do you desire the love and companionship that comes with owning a Hubert of your own? Well, then you should head to gokamerch.com and sign up for the email list. It's easy. Just take a look at one of our satisfied customers.
You open it.
Oh, that's hard. A little bite! Wow, look at that smile. Making a friend has never been easier with our new Hubert NPCs. Sign up to the Gokamerch.com email list today so that you'll be the first to be notified when Huberts go on sale. Only a limited quantity will be sold. So sign up.
Hoodie. Look at this shit. Look at this art. You can't really see it that well, but yeah. Only at gokamerch.com, my friends. So that's pretty much all I got. When people underestimate you, they give you an advantage. Oh, 100%. Oh, bro. Look, you guys already know. My biggest advantage is being kind of unknown, you know? Now, eventually, you know, if everything goes to plan, I will be very, you know, high key, as in like there will be a lot of eyes. My GTA stars will go up, but bro, I mean, look at the shit we pulled off with Sneeko. I could only do that by being low on the radar, you know what I mean? So, you know, I like being an underdog, and that's kind of a problem. Like I should not like it, you know what I mean? But I turn it into a strength pretty often, so